You're listening to the Gentleman's Corner podcast, where two men are on a quest to rule the world. Tune in every Monday for a new episode.
Welcome back to another episode, and either I'm looking a little less buff than last week, and I'm probably a little more talkative now.
Man, I don't know. I thought you looked pretty good.
You thought I looked pretty good? I like, the image in the background.
Oh, the Captain America?
Yeah, the Captain America. It's going to be like an iconic thing now.
Yeah, I tried my best, but I mean, paint didn't give me the best of options.
Man, I thought that was practically me. I think people were quite convinced.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going for.
Actually, I got something in the crowd to show you. It's the gift you got me.
Oh,
Look at this. Look at this. It's a goddamn sticker. Fucking sick. This is the gift he got me. He surprised me with it. Absolutely wicked. It brought my mood totally up. As well, if you didn't see in the start of the video, right in the corner here, very hard to tell, but little sticker here as well. Big giant one. It's kind of like first merch, although we're not actually selling anything.
No, just buying.
Just buying. Not having a tall boy this time, but that's okay. Did I have a beer last week?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. It was. I don't think it was in the image.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear.
You were just finishing your gym session.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I'm super buff.
We should get that shirt made, actually.
Yeah, we should. Here, I just want to show the crowd here what you did. This was all my colleague here. He made these stickers. Fucking, if you really want them, I'm sure we can share them. I'm sure we can find a way to mail them out for a cost. But anyways, it's like a future thing, I'm supposing, but more or less this was for ourselves. Got to spread the name in different ways.
That sticker way was a good way.
That sticker way was a good
Everyone
way.
loves stickers.
Everyone loves stickers. Man, like they used to be like I remember like to get like different companies and especially radio stations. They'd stick them everywhere at like, whenever you go through drive through a McDonald's or something, you always see like people sticking them on the side of the wall.
I even seen just YouTube channels sticking their stickers on Tim Hortons drive-through placards or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I'll start doing. Because I'm not just going to plaster my house. No one's going to see it.
A little bit of vandalizing, Kyle. I don't think that's okay.
Is it really? Am I really damaging anything?
See, I don't know how it works with stickers. Maybe just go on those pinup boards. Do we still have those around town? Or you can post your flyers or like selling my van or something.
Yeah, I know we do where we work. But we're very old fashioned.
We used to have some around town. I know that besides like just the telephone post ones.
I think City Hall. There's City Hall. There's certain like provincial places that you can put those there. Not really too sure like the regulation. It's not like we ever gave a shit anyways.
We'll have to get you a car vinyl with their logo on it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Advertisement. Put a big face on the hood.
That picture is going to be around for like years. People are going to like bring that back from the dead constantly. You literally made a meme. That's probably what that will be.
If you want to call it that, sure.
A meme, or it's gonna. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to it. Someone's gonna use it against me. But yeah, so I'm looking a little crazy actually. I know you can't really see me right now, but yeah. So I actually got back from camping this weekend.
How was that?
It was good. I actually tried a brand new tent. Not sure if most of you have heard of like pop-up tents.
What's it called?
A pop-up tent.
No, the brand.
Oh, I got Outbound pop-up tent for 4 people.
Oh,
Take a look. Yeah, it's long. It's not tall.
It looks chill. Like you don't have to mess with the
4-person one. That's the whole thing. Like it's, oh my God. Like it's really fun. Like the moment I got it, I took it out and I wanted to see what it was like. And I actually opened it in my house. So it wasn't a good idea because it was a lot bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. And putting it back together is a total bitch. I had to watch a YouTube video because I couldn't figure it out.
Don't you just fold it back?
Well, yeah, of course you just fold it back, but it's not easy. It takes a little finesse. You know what? That's everyone was telling me that all week. Oh, don't you just fold it back? Yeah, you just fold it back, but there's like a certain way you gotta do it, and it gets all fucky because it just wants to blow open again.
It's like those old tent in a can things that we used to see on TV.
In a can. Yeah, pretty much. Bread in a can. We've had bread in a can. That, believe it or not, that actually exists. I wouldn't say it was in a can, but it's in a sealed vacuum sealed bag.
Man, do you know what I miss?
What?
Have you? I'm sure you have the cornbread that comes in the rations.
Oh yeah,
those were good.
Oh, cornbread was good. I liked it with honey. If you got the honey packet.
Never tried that one.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like you don't get the honey packet with that one. I particularly remember, but I used to save those little packets of honey, usually for coffee or tea, if that's all we have. If we got those, I'd usually save it for that.
That sounds pretty yummy, though.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Well, speaking of rations and stuff, it's funny because I have quite a bit of camping gear. You have quite a bit of camping gear too. You and I are quite adventurous. I'm very much, I like going out there and surviving, making my shelter and doing that. The only thing I don't do is I don't go hunt for my food. I bring food.
Yeah.
I'm not searching here. Yeah, I'm not searching for fucking berries and shit. I'm not doing that. Although it would be a good technique to learn. I'm not saying it's useless. For me, it's just I don't have that much effort for it. You're more into long distance hiking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to do a big trail this summer, but I don't think that's going to happen due to my schedule at the moment.
Oh yeah. Now you mean for the summer, right?
Yes. I mean, I could do it in the winter, but I don't know how fun that would be. It'd just be more like a chore at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm looking a little scruffy, that's for sure. But yeah. Yeah, pop-up tents, hiking, camping gear. Yeah, camping gear. I like testing out new gear. Like a lot of my friends come and bug me about certain products, brands, stuff like that. What should they get? Have you tried this? I've wasted my money on a lot of shit that I wouldn't probably even recommend. For instance, you ever see there's camping stoves? Don't get me wrong; those have a place. But have you ever seen those little fireplace metal things? It's like a foldable, tiny fireplace where you can cook on.
I've seen those.
I understand what they're for, but believe it or not, they're fucking heavy.
Really?
They're quite. Yeah, they're. I have one.
You could probably fit a can in it.
Yeah, I would say you can fit a can in that size.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big fat can. I got one. I really want to try it. I'm like, oh, this seems really cool. Maybe I won't have to. I'll just always use firewood, and it's always relatively available, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a rainy day, then yeah, it's kind of nice to have the cook set because I have a cook set as well for butane. It's a mixture of propane and something else. It's what campers tend to use. I'll show a picture. But anyways, I got this product and it's fucking heavy. It's really heavy. It's a couple pounds. It's not light.
I mean, you could probably make something or do something that'd be a lot less weight, like just using tin foil or a couple sticks.
That's what I tell my friends because they're like, "Oh, should I get this?" I'm like, "No," because it weighs too much. And what you can do is just make a small fire with some rocks around it, and whatever you're cooking on, put it on the rocks. Or usually, what I do and what I do with my friends is when we cook on a fire, if we can't find rocks because we're not near a beach or something, or we just generally can't find rocks, we just use 2 bigger sticks on each side. Yeah, it's gonna burn, but they're not gonna burn and break by the time we're done cooking. So yeah. I would never recommend that product. I'd never recommend those products.
There's a lot of like little gadgets for camping that don't necessarily work that well.
No, like I have a small, I think it's called a Pelican ruck case.
Oh yeah.
It's extremely durable. Like the whole point of it is you put your valuables, the electronics, stuff like that, your phone, your wallet, spare batteries, lights, stuff like that in this container. It's about this size. I don't know if that's like a good comparison. But it's just extremely heavy. Like it's not even worth it.
Works really well.
What?
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags, man. Like there's only one other product I recommend. I'll try to recommend a product, I guess. I forget what the brand is called. I'm gonna go find it here like later and post a picture of it. But it's like a Ziploc bag, except it's reusable. Ziploc bags are reusable, don't get me wrong, but eventually they wear out, they get holes. This one is more of a permanent fix to that. It's a lot more durable. It's actually extremely light, as well as it has like a little hook on it too, so if you can hang them. It's a bag. It's watertight. That's the whole point of it. You just put your stuff in there, you roll the top, and you clip it. Yeah. I think I might have showed you.
There's billions of different companies that make those.
Oh yeah, and I got the ultra light, like the featherweight one, and I absolutely love it. It's something I reuse constantly. It's a lot more durable than a Ziploc. I've used Ziplocs for years because that's exactly what the Army has encouraged me to do.
And they're cheap.
And they're cheap. But I bought one. It was $12, and I've never had to throw it away, and I've had it for 2.5 years.
Is it kind of like is yours a compression bag type of thing, or just
kind of? Yeah, you can keep rolling it, but the issue is it gets airtight. So you got to roll it the opposite way first with the stuff in it, and then you start rolling from the top if you want it to be like air, like no air in it. Because Ziplocs, like, I don't know what you used to do. I don't do it anymore because I got tired of it. But you'd wait. There's like a little tip at the end of it, and you suck all the air out.
Yeah, there's a method. You can just take the Ziploc bag, and then as long as you have the hole at the top, you put it in water, and the water kind of pushes out the excess air.
Really?
And, yeah.
Oh fuck. Well, I don't think I'm willing to go through that much effort.
Just buy one of those things that you put meat into, and it bags it up and sucks all the air in.
Yeah. Well, you need a vacuum with that.
Yeah, do that for your socks.
Yeah, no. I don't. I feel like that's a lot of fucking effort just to make them like extremely airtight, and it's not really worth it. I don't know. This is a product I've used for like 2.5 years, and I love it. It's been great, and it's kept everything dry. But yeah, camping is great. Make sure you camp. Get outdoors. It's good for you. Good for the soul, like beer. Beer's good for the soul.
I think camping's a little bit healthier, but I'm sure beer's got its purposes.
Says you. You should drink more.
I'll pass on that one.
You would know my feeling if you would drink more. It's a good beer. Whenever we do like a podcast where like you and I are going to be facing each other. It's going to be funny. I'm always going to have a beer with me.
That's all right.
You'll have a coffee or something.
No, I don't drink coffee either.
Oh my God, man.
Sparkling water.
Water.
Tea.
And tea? What kind of tea?
Really, any type. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, any tea? Are you the boring person that just likes green tea?
Green tea's good. I like to mix it up a bit though. Put some peppermint in it.
Oh, I drink chamomile, I think it's called. It helps you sleep.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah,
I took a picture of it.
I could be wrong. I'm sure people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? That's a fucking radioactive chemical you just said." I actually fucking don't remember. But yeah, no, there's a tea I drink if I need to go to bed and I'm not really tired, then I'll usually drink that tea.
You ever try melatonin?
Yep. The only problem I have with that, I don't want to be reliant on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with being reliant on a tea. I can't say I'm even reliant on that. But the only reason I take melatonin is if I need to go to bed extremely early because I got to wake up extremely early. I take about like 2 or 3 pills. Usually it recommends 2. I always take a third because I really want to get to sleep. The only problem I have with melatonin is I don't feel rested.
No, I tried it once and I woke up feeling really weird. So then that was it for me.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I felt weird. It's given me weird dreams in the past, and I wouldn't say that dramatically affected me taking them, but you know, I don't want to be reliant on them because I know it's a natural substance that you make in your head to put you to sleep. The only problem is I know if you you repeatedly take them like every night, eventually you got to wean yourself off because you can't let your body get too addicted to it.
Like you with your alcohol problems.
I don't have a problem. People have problems with my drinking. I don't even drink that much. I don't drink. Well, I have a beer every episode, I guess, but I'm not the type of guy that. Actually, no, I'm not going to go down this fucking rabbit hole because I'm going to realize maybe there's a problem or something I don't want to realize.
Yeah, that's okay.
Maybe there isn't a problem. No one will fucking know. You know what? No one needs to know about my personal life. Oh my God. Fuck. I feel like such a slob. I got like a really baggy sweater on.
That's okay.
I just came home. It was a really good weekend. Lots of beer. Lots of beer, lots of fire, lots of coffee, and a lot of steak.
That sounds tasty.
What was your last adventure?
I couldn't tell you. I go for hikes regularly-ish when I get the time, but I don't remember the last time I went camping. Last year sometime, probably.
What'd you do this weekend?
Well, we went on a little trip to a city near us. My sleeping schedule was complete crap.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday, I woke up at around 2 a.m. and didn't fall back asleep. Friday, it was around 5. Saturday, I can't remember. Well, I guess that would have been this morning or last night. I don't know. But yeah, my sleeping schedule was just junk. And then I watched some movies. And I can't really remember the rest. I've just been trying to catch up on sleep most of the time.
That's why I feel bad. Like, I try to get you involved in these things, but I know your schedule. And I know it's shitty that you start on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I think. Like, it's shitty you start on a Sunday because it really interrupts that weekend.
Yeah.
Especially
like my Sunday day, I'm just trying to sleep so I can be up all night.
Yeah.
And then my Thursday, when I'm off, like I have to sleep a little bit or else I'm just going to be useless for the day. So I have Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, if
really
you're wondering what he does, he's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yep, he deals drugs to kids. That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, spread that around. I'll get a good job.
You're too good of it. You're too goody two shoes for even jokes like that. So I'm not even too worried.
No, I think I'll pass my interviews just fine.
You'll pass your interviews.
I mean,
they come in. Well, we got to take full. We can't take it as a joke. We can't take it as a joke. We're gonna have to take this guy seriously. He could be a drug dealer that works nights.
Yeah.
That brings me to a subject I want to talk about.
What's that?
So I've been watching comedians lately on Netflix.
Yep.
It's funny enough. I forget their names. Fuck. One of them is like Life Rips. He's a pretty funny dude. Really hyper and extremely energetic. Anyways, him and another Australian fella were talking about, coincidentally, they both made a new episode on Netflix in 2020 about crossing the line and how comedians are having that struggle or that paradox of, the line is here nowadays because, maybe the world's a little more fucking sensitive. But back in the day, the line used to be over here. Like, it used to be further back when they could tell certain jokes. So the dilemma of what I'm saying, pardon me, is the jokes they said in the past are being held against them now because the line has moved up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
And I think that's a fucking problem. I don't think it's fair to hold someone accountable, maybe for certain jokes in the past that were very much acceptable and were very much, appreciated or accepted by the community. But now, the line has moved up, things are different, and looking at it at a positive view, even though I'm having a hard time doing that. But you got to look at it in kind of the other way too, right? So the line has moved up. You have to accept that. But holding someone accountable because the line was back there and they didn't cross it, I don't think that's fair.
Well, no. It's like if something was, like, for example, in Canada, marijuana is legal now, but if it becomes illegal in the next 20 years,
yeah,
and they're like, oh, you smoked pot back in whatever, like it's like the same thing. You can't, I know legality wise it's different, but when I know there's been a lot of like TV stars and all that stuff, or Twitter people that have gotten comments because of messages or tweets from years and years ago.
Yeah.
Or YouTube people. Yeah.
That's a huge thing. Like, there's a big topic right now, like Jenna Marbles. You ever heard of her?
I think so.
She's a pretty big YouTube star. She's been around for about 12 years. Like, she kind of came at, I wouldn't say the start of YouTube, but I would certainly say was hitting the big wave when it was really getting good. Jenna Marbles, I don't watch her, but my partner does, and she's in love with her. She's loved her channel since day one. Like, she's been watching her channel since it began. And then all of a sudden, the YouTube community, not really YouTubers, but, the community, were bashing her for older videos she's done in the past that had, I think, similar... I never watched the videos, so it's hard for me to really express my problem with it, and I understand that's a problem in itself. But she did something with blackface back in 2009 or 8, where the time was very different, and it wasn't necessarily even blackface. It was just
I think it was some kind of a costume, or it was a comment she made because of the design she was doing on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't quote me on that, because I bet a bunch of people are just going to be like, what the fuck? You don't even know. She was a total racist. She was saying all kinds of shit. But as far as I know, that's not the case. The case is she made a video kind of like that, either made a comment, or at the time, that was the joke, and at the time, that was okay, and no one had a problem with it, not even YouTube. But now people brought that up from the past over 10 fucking years ago. And even if I think it might have been even 2011, even if it was 9 years ago, I think that's a huge problem, and that's very unfair. And who the fuck are these people going back on people's shit on their media posts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all kinds of social platforms, and creeping these people?
Yeah,
like that's
a little
creepy
extreme on that end.
Like you're.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just really passionate about it, because I'm really quite pissed off with people. You're ruining people's careers. You're ruining people's content. You're ruining the way they work because of old things that they've said, but they've changed to meet the media of today. Like, I am sure if we're still doing the fucking podcast in 10 fucking years, we're going to be... I might not be swearing as fucking much.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
because,
with, let's say kids' TV shows. I remember growing up watching Bugs Bunny or whatever, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
And it was just like two animals like fighting each other, like using like Bugs Bunny. Like Buddy had a weapon or a shotgun, and I think now they're trying to get that out.
Oh my god!
For future shows, and it's just like kids' TV shows like have completely changed from when we were children. Everything's a lot less violent and more educational.
Because truly, we're so fucked up as it is. Maybe I'm fucked up because of it. You know what? Maybe I drink because Bugs Bunny made me drink.
Oh, yeah! Remember the shows had little bottles.
The X's.
That skull or the X's, yeah.
Yeah. That's why. You know what? Fuck you, Warner Brothers. You're the reason I'm a fucked up person.
Yeah, you wouldn't dare to see that on a TV show these days.
No. And, well, that honestly, I've been having and two comedians on Netflix on a 2020 series, ironically, both talked about it in a very similar content. And those are the only two comedians I watched. I'm gonna find out what videos I watched, so that way you guys are gonna watch it. It's really funny, but they don't take things too seriously, and they never been the comedians to do that. And you know, they talked about their career in the past and how it's changed till now, and you know, their views are pretty okay with it. They do make comments like, "Yeah, everyone's a pussy now." But they make it they say it as a joke. And that's the problem. People don't seem to understand that it's a joke. And what I find people are what really drives me up what grinds my gears is people enjoy a show. They enjoy the content of a comedian. They enjoy a YouTube video, and they make a bunch of jokes, and they love every single one of them. Except one joke just hits them the wrong way. Whatever reason that could be, it could have been maybe it's slightly sexist, could have been it was, you know, hurtful because he made fun of a disease. It could have been something very minor. And that drives them enough to go forward with making a full complaint about this comedian or their content or YouTuber or anything like that. Because of one little joke, but you loved and laughed at everything else.
I think a big problem that I'm noticing in 2020 is there's a lot of keyboard warriors.
Oh yeah,
that just like to speak out whether what they're saying is what they believe or if they just kind of want to stir the pot.
They're cancel culture.
Yeah, that's another big thing that's been going on.
I've heard of that term. I'm not really up to date with all that kind of shit, but it's a cancel culture that drives me up the wall, because just because you don't like one thing from someone, or you don't like them in general, you automatically assume and take it upon yourself that they need to be canceled. Like you're so selfish in your own ways that you can't even know. Even if they have an awesome following, their content is going through the roof. And because of the small minority of people that bitch and complain, their shit gets shut down sometimes.
Well, I know YouTube, or newer YouTubers have a big problem with that, because if you show anything in like your little thumbnail or in your description that's controversial, whatever, you'll either get demonetized or your video will just get shut down.
And oh my god, don't even get me started with that kind of stuff. But it's not like we don't make like fuck like our content. It's kind of like, you ever see Vice documentaries?
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, they were pretty raunchy. Like, they really didn't give a shit. They'd fucking go They'd go document fucking people fucking donkeys. I don't know if you know, that is a documentary that they made.
Yeah, I didn't.
They used to do
know that one.
Yeah, it's still on YouTube as far as I know. But they don't make that stuff anymore. They're a little more serious because they got bigger, they got more famous, and they make more money. So they're trying to meet certain populist demands, and they have to follow certain rules on YouTube and other platforms that help them still make more money. So by doing that, they tend to choose a safe. They tend to choose the safe answer.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way like the world is at the moment. Like, not just YouTube. Like YouTube, yeah, there's that algorithm that you got to follow, or else you're not growing. But
like, I'm not. Can you swear in YouTube?
I think you can. There's a lot of people I watch that do.
And they're not demonetized or anything. I think that's going a step too far. If I can't say the word fuck on YouTube without getting like demonetized, there's a big problem.
Yep.
Like, you're really like, are you a platform? Are you like, what are you?
Well, I know a few people have just been going to their own website as a platform, like making and uploading stuff on their own website just because they don't like the YouTube format.
Yeah. Well, Patreon is a good kind of way of doing that too. A different type of platform. Now that's really different than YouTube. It's not like it's free, and we don't have a Patreon, so don't ask. At least not yet. But with that stuff, it's different, because I think people really like YouTube because they can search. It's such a giant fucking platform. They already own the market when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I remember Google used to have their own videos before Google took over fucking YouTube.
They still do. They're still
really?
Yeah, there's still a video thingy. It takes you to just different websites.
Okay.
But it's not like their videos or their video app specifically or format, whatever.
They did have that at one point, believe it or not. But I still have an old YouTube account that is actually a Hotmail account. Yeah, like that's how old this account is. Like, Google didn't own YouTube at the time, so I could use any email account, and I've just always used that account. And trust me, constantly Google has tried to force me into making a Gmail, and I continuously say no, because I don't do anything with that channel. If I wanted to do something with, my personal channel, I would have to make a Gmail account. But, why would I at this point?
I just feel like everything's all connected at this point. So whether you're through the Apple people or Google people, you always have to connect everything through their emails and apps and all that.
Yep. Well, there's one thing I've accepted with Google, because I moved away from Google and I went to Apple, and we're not having a fucking Android and Apple conversation again. That's not what I'm saying. I went away from Android. A lot of reasons, there's a ton of other reasons I've talked about before, but a big reason was I found out Google was really taking a lot of my personal information. And there was a lot of talk about why Google's doing this, conspiracies, all this kind of other shit. And there was a ton of articles that were true. Google was taking information. And I didn't like that. I was like, oh, they're taking my privacy. And Apple had a big market of like privacy and all that kind of shit. And I got it. I bought into it. And come to realize, I'm sure Apple's doing the same fucking thing. So I kind of gave up on that mark of, trying to be ultra private. And I kind of, like, one thing I've gone back to just like 2 weeks ago was Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like using it because I'm like, oh, they're going to figure out where the fuck I go. But Apple Maps, it's just not as good as Google Maps. Not. No. And I was just getting tired of trying to use Apple Maps where I'm at and finding you remember I used Apple Maps when we went to go see our buddy in the camp,
and it took us in the middle of nowhere.
Actually, speaking of that, we're going Friday.
Yes. Are we gonna carpool or?
Yeah, we can carpool, buddy. We can carpool.
Sick.
Well, I have his address on my Google already because it's connected to my Google account, which I made. So I remember when we got totally fucking lost and we finally used Google Maps. I made a pinpoint on Google Maps of how to find his location again. So I'm already good to go. So ironically, me downloading Google Maps is helping us go see our buddy this Friday.
Yeah, at this point, it's either you live under a rock and you're completely secure of your information, or you just kind of hop on the train and hope for the best at this point.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like I use a VPN, and there's a lot of good things I can talk about with VPNs. I use, well, I'm not going to say because we're not sponsored by them, at least not yet. But we need.
But even with that, there's always, like, whenever there's a company that works to make something secure, there's 5 others that work to shut it down or find ways around it.
Yeah, and VPNs aren't. I've seen people talk about them. They're not the end all be all. It's not going to protect you from everything in the world, and I don't think even companies would admit that, saying they're an ultimate foolproof system of privacy. That would be a lie, and that'd be a bold statement to make. They're not the end all be all, and you're essentially right. You're either the only way to get away from it is to live under a fucking rock, not have a cell phone, not have a computer. Although we know a guy like that. He worked
pretty
with
much.
Yeah, I remember I can't email him. He doesn't have a cell.
Nope.
He has a home phone. That's it. That's all he has. And he has a mailing address.
Like, besides the ease of access with everything, I feel like just mentally, life was so much simpler back then when you didn't have just everything constantly showing up on your phone or in your pocket. Like,
no, exactly.
I miss phone calls. Not many people call. Like, we call each other every once in a while and have a conversation.
Oh, no. I agree. Like, the thing with cell phones is there's so many great things about them, and there's also so many bad things. Because you're right, we have the ease of everything with technology, of ordering things, getting locations. Like you have a computer in your pocket that can get you from A to B, tell you the best restaurant once you get the B, go to that restaurant, enjoy it, or even order the food through your phone. Like, you can do it all.
And there's so many other good things with even health-wise. Like, there's good health apps now that even I use for checking on my own health with certain problems I've had. And all that part of it is really good, but you can get really maniacal and evil once you really dig deep with what this can do to negatively affect you.
Well, you were talking about being reliant, but think of how many people can't use a map in this year. Like if you had to say, like, give me your phone and take me to the mall if you're not from this city. Like, I don't know if many people would be able to do that, or I don't know. There's certain things that, let's say there was a big EMP in the whole world that went off,
took us back.
Somehow you were still able to get to your bank and all that. But besides all the little things that would get to you, it's just like the day-to-day living. A lot of people rely on it just for, like, even entertainment. Like, people go crazy if they don't update their tweets or check out what's happening in the world.
I think that's one thing I never got into personally. It's something I've done in the past believe it or not, I had an old workout Instagram, but
yeah, I think I still follow it.
If you guys want to check me out, Big Bean Fitness. I don't update anymore, so don't expect much, but not much has actually changed when it comes to kind of my motives behind why I work out and why I encourage others to work out as well. But anyway,
why don't you start back up?
Maybe I should. I don't know.
You should. Why not?
I quit it because I think I was trying to get away with a lot of social media stuff. That was when I kind of deleted my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't delete it. I don't even know what the word is I used. Essentially, I left it and I blocked it so no one can find me, and I still have an account if I want it.
Yeah.
And I do that. It's back on, but I thought about putting it back off because I'm never on it anymore. Like, I don't even have the Facebook app anymore. I found social media to be kind of a big time waster, and as well as depressing, really, in a lot of ways. And it took a lot of thinking and knowing and understanding of, at the time, why I was kind of down and out about things. And I kind of thought that was related, and I believe it was, because once I did block a lot of those things out of my life, eye-opening. But, I was still running Big Bean Fitness, and I was having fun with that because it was just something very positive. It was always positive on my point of view. But it's funny because I find when you look at other people on social media sometimes, and I might be the only one, but I really doubt it. You see people do really well. They have good jobs, all this shit. They get new cars. Feel like you're really far behind in life.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a big thing. Like with mental health problems going on more recently than before, Instagram and stuff like that were big. And like the reliance again, like people need to get the likes, and it triggers your brain, and it's the unlimited scroll. Like people just sit there and scroll for hours. Like your human body just meant to go outside and do activities, like physical activities, and then you're like, oh, why am I so down? But it's because you've been sitting around on your butt for the past 5 hours.
Doing nothing, essentially. Yeah. Reading posts. Reading articles that are fake.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, and, I'm not going to encourage people on here to, quit Facebook.
Why not?
Why not?
The only reason I use Facebook right now is for their marketplace. And
I do too.
Besides that, that's it with me.
You don't need it in your life, but the nice thing is with Facebook, because I still, even after I blocked Facebook, I still used Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good way for communication. But when it comes to using Facebook in general, you definitely don't need it.
No, I mean, unless like you have your own business promoting this and that, but for the general small man in the world,
yeah,
I think you can live without it.
Oh yeah, like oh my. If you ever open a Facebook page, Instagram account, and stuff like that, like it's something we would definitely follow and use and update and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we would encourage you guys to come and follow us as well. You're going to get the best updates. You're going to get probably exclusive content. We've already talked about it, so kind of exciting stuff. But yeah, like it's Facebook in general and certain social media apps, or all social media apps. You don't need them in your life. And the funny part about that is employers will actually possibly judge you if they can't find you on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. I know. I was in charge of hiring at one of my previous jobs, and the second I saw names pop up in our application list, like me and my coworker, we went straight to Facebook and social media just to see what they're like.
Yep.
And usually that tells a lot about a person.
Well, when I was learning that too before I hired you, when I was learning that under my man, I was the supervisor. He was the manager. He said he does that all the time. And I remember this was after we hired you, of course. There's another gentleman I really wanted to look at for a job, and he gave me his application. And he's worked with us in the past. I said we should give him an interview. He said, "Give me a sec." Checked his social media, and he said, "I don't feel good about him." I didn't argue to why, but he only said that after he looked at his social media. And I was pretty upset, because that's not always maybe the best way to look at it. But then again, if you do know he's a partier and he parties and he has a good chance that he does skip work a lot, maybe he's not as responsible as you think. I don't know. Should you judge it off their Facebook post?
Well, it's pretty much I know like social media and stuff is your own private page and all that, but it's what you're willing to share with
the world.
Anybody, the world, yeah. That kind of tells a little bit about yourself.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're willing to share with some random people, you obviously know that your boss can obviously find you.
Yeah.
And if he's looking for somebody more professional, it doesn't, like, your boss doesn't want to hire somebody that somebody else is going to look at and be like, did you know who you just hired? Like, do you see their social media? Like, it kind of looks embarrassing or whatever. Like, your boss also wants to look good.
Yep. No, exactly. It's funny because it's kind of an uphill battle with that kind of stuff. There's a lot of pros and cons, and that's, maybe we can discuss that another time, because we're actually hitting about 50 minutes. Speaking of that, I'll say one more thing. We worked with a person. She was at the front, at the welcome desk, actually. She didn't have social media, and the only reason she actually made it is so her employers could find her.
Yeah, I know. LinkedIn is another big one that's very, like, job related. I know some people have to make it in order to, like, get in contact with certain job positions.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So in a way you need it, and in a way you don't. It's just a weird, confusing battle.
It is a weird, confusing battle, because you shouldn't you shouldn't judge people in general from maybe the past, because that comes back to our last conversation. Because things, can you judge a guy or a girl at 19? his first year at 19 was full of parties. I don't think I would, because they're legal to drink and they probably just want to have a lot of fun. Do they continue that habit?
It's like if I want to be a lawyer and I have pictures of myself vandalizing or whatever, that's not going to look too good either.
No, exactly.
Even if that was when I was whatever years old.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't help the company that you work for, right? Because they could use it against you and use it against the company. So, exactly. And it's, I guess it's a bigger topic than we actually thought when it comes to talking about bringing stuff from the past onto someone from the future, even if they're a totally different person by then, and they've extremely bettered themselves. Because you don't take like a sad story of someone that was, a drug addict that did a lot of bad things, did a lot of illegal activities, and then 10 years down the road, they've totally, socially straightened themselves out. They're doing really well. They're helping the community. Do you judge that person because of the past things they've done?
It's a hard topic.
It is. It is a hard topic. Like I think that's a question a lot of people should ask with that is, maybe they did do these things in the past. Are they better people now than they were?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that for another day. I really want to bring that back up.
Yeah, because I think right now I'm starving and I just want to go eat some supper.
You just want to go eat some supper. Fair enough. All right, my guys and girls out there. Thanks for joining in the Gentleman's Corner podcast. I'm Kyle and my co-host here, Anonymous.
Exactly.
Fucking, I don't know what to call you now.
But anywho, thank you for listening in, and we'll see you all on episode 10.
Woo! Episode 10. Can't wait.